Well, hello, replay viewers. I just want to welcome you to the Preppy Crafty Girl. And I am Jonna, and I have already kind of started working behind the scenes and thought, you know what? I think I'm going to go live and turn on my camera because tonight, what I want to do is I am going to, who doesn't have all these? I have so many chipboard letters, and these are rusty pickle. They don't even make these anymore, but I'm sure other companies have these very similar things. And then I have all like I can't tell you how much grunge board I had. Tim Holtz back in the day came out with this stuff called grunge board. It's like flexible, has a very unique smell. When he first started, it was just plain sheets that had no pattern on it or anything like that. And then he came out with these embossed. You could buy them embossed. So hold on one second, because I have literally, and I threw them in a bag because I was unpacking. Like I have a huge pile of these things, and they come like this. So they have the die cut already done in them. And so anyway, that's only like half of what I have. I don't know. But I thought instead of having them just sit around and take up space, or I was just gonna like donate them, I thought, why not? Let's just go ahead and see if Luise Heinzel's technique that she did a couple of weeks ago, where it's this rusting technique, if it would work on this stuff. Now she had a printable, she did hers on I think cardstock. She printed it out on cardstock. So mine is chipboard and grunge board, but I love how these turned out. And I mean, look at the transformation in the before and then the after. So I'm going to do a couple of things in here, and then, I'm just going to kind of craft along. I mean, you can craft along with me. You can sit, put your feet up, have a sip, and yeah, just whatever. Gonna be working. So all right, I have, so some of the things that you need for this is some kind of, she has printables on her website. It's Luise Heinzel, and she is a creator for Tim Holtz, and she did this faux rusting technique, and she had offered a printable with it. Now I didn't get the printable because I wasn't going to do this technique. And then when I found all this grunge board and all these chip letters as I'm cleaning out my boxes from moving, and this stuff has been in storage for a little bit, and I forgot I had it. And, you just kind of have those things hanging around your craft room that you don't really use a whole lot, or your style changes and things like that. So, or you bought it for a reason and maybe you use one or two, and then you get left over with like hundreds of them. So you need some kind of substrate that you're gonna, rust on. And it doesn't have to be like pre-printed. It could be pre-printed. It doesn't have to be. You could use just plain chipboard. This is grunge board, like I said. And then you need some distress paint. The reason why she said to use distress paint is because over regular paint is because for some reason she said she wasn't sure what was in this that makes it do this bubbling. And when you heat it, it literally makes this crusty like bubble. And I don't know if I can get my camera. I am Lisa. Hey, Lisa. Oh my gosh, I have got to talk to you. I've had like I'm going through something right now. So anyway, yeah, so that's why I haven't called you, because the what hit the fan. Anyway, so it does this like bubble up kind of rusty what's that called, where it turns into kind of like iron looking stuff. But anyway, does that. Then I use Distress Antique Linen. It gives that nice kind of antique look. And then you need a dauber of some sort and alcohol ink. I'm using ginger. She used rust, but I don't have rust. I only have I had ginger and I had caramel, and I like the ginger better. I think it's closer to rust. You'll need some archival ink, and because this is a slick surface, and at the end you go over it with the ink, and you need archival ink or it will not adhere to the slick surface. So, and then I have these little grabbers because you have to use your heat tool and I don't want to burn myself. So I do have grabbers. I also have it on a silicone mat. Plus I have it on this craft sheet so that it does not burn my tabletop. I have burnt stuff with my heat tool before and I have learned. All right. So the first thing you're going to do, I also, with this, with the key that I did, I painted it first. So I do have some things over here that I have painted prior. I did some just like regular paint colors. I did some metallic paint. And this is Tim Holtz paint. And this is just regular metallic craft paint. I believe it's Master's Touch acrylic. Hey, oh my gosh, APG, so good to see you. Yeah, no burning. You know, I was sitting here laughing because when I haven't been in Boston forever, like a good couple years. And I was thinking about, remember when Darcy did the she did the horse trailer book album that we did, and it was like the 3D horse trailer, and then she made a horseshoe album, like the cover of the little mini book was a horseshoe. And she was embossing, and she had never embossed before. And so she literally was like, she had it in the tin foil. I don't know what she was doing. Oh my gosh. It was, if I had a heart to go back and watch it just for a good laugh, I would, but I know I'd probably end up crying when I heard her voice. So anyway, one day I will go back and watch that. So anyway, that is kind of what I did. I just stuck it down with some double stick tape just to hold it while I was painting it. So I don't know how the Tim Holtz, doing it with the Tim Holtz paint already and then trying to emboss on that, what's going to happen. So we shall see. Oh, thank you. I know. It's not, I just don't do it because it's kind of like glitter to me. I don't use glitter either for that reason. Oh my goodness. Okay, so my friend came and brought me flowers for Valentine's Day, and they were, first off, they thought they were daisies. They were chrysanthemums. So, okay. But then I don't know why they have to put, like, they spray painted the flowers with some kind of paint, so they were all white, and then I guess they painted them like reds and pinks and stuff, and then they decided to dip them in glitter. So my friend doesn't know me very well, and there was just glitter all over my countertop, and I put it in a vase and I just left it on the countertop by the sink, and oh my gosh, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. And then they started to die, so then I was like starting to cut back. I know, it was like a glitter bomb in my house, all over my countertops, all over the floor, and it was like that just cheap glitter, you know. It's like, what? So it was going everywhere. I guess they paint it and then they dip it in the glitter, or they look like they just threw the glitter on the thing. I don't know. But anyway, that is kind of my feeling about embossing powder. So, and I have all the things I'm shaking the table. I had all the things to do the embossing with. I had one of those trays, you know, with the little hole in it. And yeah, I got rid of all that stuff. So in fact, I got rid of all my all my embossing powder. So I actually had to buy this recently so I could try this technique. Is that how your house? Oh yeah, I don't allow glitter in the house anymore. I just don't bring it in myself. I got rid of all my glitter except for one thing. Oh no, I was unpacking my box of crafting stuff, and fortunately it was in the garage. And I opened up the box, and in there I see the top of I had this vintage bread box in my room. In fact, Darcy had gotten it. It had like 3 or 4 drawers, like marked tea, coffee, sugar, that kind of thing. And then you drop it down, and then that's where you put the bread. Well, that is where I used to store my glitter. And wouldn't you know it, the one fine glitter, the Tim Holtz glitter, remember he came out with that? Oh, it was like a bronzy kind of color, glitter powder or something. I don't know. Super, super fine. Well, the lid came loose and all its traveling in the move, and it was all inside of the bread box. So when I pulled the bread box out of the box, it was in the cardboard box, which I had to break the cardboard box down. Then it was all over the bag because I kind of lifted it up, put it in the bag. I was trying to shake it all out, got my vacuum cleaner. Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, I forgot what it was called. I don't know. I threw the whole thing out. There wasn't very much left in it. Yes, yes, the static. Yep. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not a glitter person just for that reason, because that stuff happens. So Louisa, she printed out her. I don't know. I thought about this. I don't know that this is going to work. She printed hers out on a sheet, and hers looked like little license plates, so it had little numbers and stuff on it. But so I thought, oh, I'll just stick mine down on the sheet. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think once I put the distress linen on this thing and I shake it off, I think it's going to just fall down into the next one. I think it's going to make a terrible mess. So I decided not to go that route, and I'm going to just do it over a piece of paper and put it back in the jar before you start your. Oh, you use wet paper towels. Some people use lint brushes, like a lint brush, but it was everywhere. It was beyond lint brush. It was beyond wet. Yes, maybe the tape. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because it's double-sided tape on there. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do one at a time and just set it here and do my thing. So yeah, so that's kind of what's happening. And so what you do is you take your dauber. This is the distress dauber, and we shall see how this works. Does this stay wet for a pretty long time? Can I do more than one at a time, or do I have to just do one at a time? Does this stay? I think once you put the glitter, once you put the embossing powder on it, I think it is okay. A mini pancake cooker. What? I know nothing of this. Mini pancake cooker. What is that? Okay, so I'm just going to shake it on here. Like, do you melt this? Oop, I've got a mini pancake cooker. Like, I've got the donut cooker and the waffle cooker. I'm going to try. I think because once you shake, oops, that was good. Once you shake it off, it won't dry then. I'm pretty sure. I think I can do a bunch of these then, right? We shall see. Oh, I'll tell you what I did with this one. With the cream color ones, I distressed it first. So around the edge. Hey, Angela. Okay, let's see. I love it for that. You ink up the piece, put the powder like normal, put the piece in the cooker, close the lid, and in about a minute or two, the powder melts. Huh? What? That is so cool. If I didn't use mine for pancakes, I would so try that right now. I would so try that right now. Oh, fun. Okay, it's good for shrink plastic. Okay, let's see what Angela's doing. You have a mini pancake? You have a mini pancake maker in your craft room for that? Oh my gosh. That's cool. Why am I so late to that game? I have one of those glue pots, I think, that I don't have anything in. Yeah, don't cross kitchen and arting. No, 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 no. Alrighty, so that's that. Let's get the dauber. I'm going to do a couple of these. And then I'm going to do some of that grungeboard stuff. Yeah, remember my sister was doing it on tin foil and it started like smoking. It was, oh my gosh. Yeah, that was cray. Oh, you haven't used it? I know I have a lot of stuff like that too. I don't use. Oops. In fact, I've got a whole pile of it sitting on the floor that I have unpacked, and I'm like, okay, seriously, when's the last time you used this thing? I have the little Heidi Swap mini iron, like, and then I'm like, okay, are you really gonna use that? I don't know. But then I feel like if I get rid of it, then that's gonna be the time I need it. Like when I got rid of all my embossing powders, and now this technique came out, and I thought, ooh, I could try that. And you know, I had to buy some. I had to buy some. Uh, okay. I gotta come up with a new thing for my camera because when I use my table, it's mounted to my table. And when I use my table, it's like an earthquake. Yeah, I think it's pretty because it just gives it a nice little tone. Okay. So there's that. Don't worry about covering all of it yet because we have to go and do like 2 or 3 different layers. Okay, plus cover this because if you use your heat gun around it, the powder goes woof all over and we'll get into your tea. You have your camera rigged up on a floor lamp. Ah, unless you bumped the lamp. I've got I have several microphone stands, so I may try doing that. I've done that before. This has I think it might go in that microphone stand. I don't know. But okay, so here goes. We got this, and we're going to do heat tool. And I still have an ancient one, so it's not very loud. Although, you know what? I think, aren't you supposed to use like the embossing tool? This is more for drying stuff and not necessarily embossing. Should I get the embossing gun out? Because I do have an embossing gun. What do you think? Yeah, it feels like it's fine. It feels fine. Oh, I've got one of these things. I've got this, like these little things. Plus, this is chipboard. It's not on paper, so it's. Oh, look what I like! What the color it's turning that. I like the color. Okay, the grunge board is jumping up, so I think you have to kind of press it down a little bit while you're drawing. Not really sure. Oh, okay. You get it hot first. it's melting the embossing stuff. Now, I think you have to do it while it's hot. I think that's the thing I have to do. Right now that it's hot and wet, and that's when you have to do it again, so you don't have to hit it with the dauber tool. I think that's the I think that's the rule here. I put too much on. Yeah. So, and I think the dealio is that you want it like irregular. So let's do a couple more. Okay, no, APG, Jamie, they do not make it anymore. I have a huge, huge bag of this stuff. And when I was unpacking, I'm like, oh, should I toss this? And then I saw Luise Heinzel do her video on, rusting stuff, and she just did it on paper. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to just do this on this grunge board and see how I like it. And I like how it turned out, and it's flexible. So, and you can stitch it. You can stitch it on. You can stitch through it. So, okay. See, now she had paper, so I think she did a lot more with the embossing. She did like 3 layers. I'm going to just do 2. Yes, get yours out. Do you still have some? Oh, you like the smell of it? It's very industrial smelling to me. I wonder what it actually was. Yeah, definitely is very industrial smelling. Yeah, I ended up popping them all out and sticking them in this basket because I'm just going to sit here and do a bunch of this. Oh, you have such a great space. You almost have to wait for a nice day, and then that's how I am. Like I have to wait for a nice day, and then I'll go out and I take everything out. That's what I'm going to do in my garage, like, because I'm still unpacking. And we had one nice day a couple weeks ago, and so I pulled like a ton of stuff outside, so I had the space to work. And then I just sat and I listened to organizing books, audio books, like on decluttering your life and stuff like that. The one I'm listening to right now is the Swedish death cleaning book. I have that on. I got that on audio book, and they just had it at my library. Oop, almost did it. Almost did it. They had that one at my library, so I think I got the cutting board under there. Probably not smart. One more. I gotta get the other one. So you're not supposed to like keep covering it because you want it uneven. All right, let me do these. Yeah, I'm not real crazy about it, Lisa. I don't like the smell of grunge board either. I think it kind of smells weird. I don't know. It smells like almost like. You ever go? Okay, this sounds bad, but no offense to anybody who shops there. But have you ever gone into Carnival Shoe Store? My friend is a manager there, so that's how I know. So that's what it smells like to me. It reminds me of walking in to the the shoe, what's it called? Shoe carnival. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. That smell. So I don't know what that is. Like pleather? I have no idea. Maybe it's the stuff that goes inside pleather, like pleather shoes, you know? Hmm. You know what? Okay. I'm going to try to be like Houdini and try to pull my cutting board out of here because I left my cutting board under here. Well, oh no, it's going back down. It was kind of bubbling from the heat, but as it's cooling, it's going back down. I'm very sensitive to smells, and smells for me, they trigger things. So, like, they'll trigger memories, and I don't know. Are you guys that way? Like, I can still smell things like in my mind when I think of certain things like Play Doh, crayons, silly putty, like, it'll trigger a memory of like using them when I was a kid. Um, I'm trying to think of what else. Did anybody have little Kittles? Remember little Kittles? And they had like the perfume smelling ones. I think my sister had Rose. I had the Daisy. Oh, you don't know little Kittles? They were these little tiny dolls back in the, well, it would have been around 1969, 1970. And they were in these little plastic cases. They were like in the shape of a perfume bottle, plastic case. And then you would, they had like, they were only this big. And then the doll was like this big and they had like this loopy, like 60s hair with the swoop, different styles. And then they had a smell. So you'd open them up and they would smell like something, like a flower. But they had cartoons for little Kittles. They had the whole little Kittles didn't have to have the fragrance. Like these were just, they came in a fragrance. Okay, so I went to an estate sale and I found two little Kittle houses. I found the house with the elevator and everything. And it was the last day, and I got them for dirt cheap. I think I paid like $5 for them, and they were pristine, pristine. I was so excited. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna let these kind of cool for a secchi. Those are done. But see how you do the different, I don't know if you can tell, see the different layers. So this side right here, that's a little glossier and smoother, doesn't have as many layers as this one, which is textured. And that's kind of what you want to do. So I bought them. Now, do I have them out anywhere in my house? Absolutely not. I don't have anywhere to put them. I got to put a shelf up maybe. I already have stuff in here and I have like little tiny shelves up above my doors. So they're not going to fit up there. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I couldn't leave them because it just brought back my whole childhood. It's like a little it was a carry case and it had the whole it open, like you know how they fold up on they're hinged, is like that, and they're made of like plastic over the chipboard kind of a deal. Sorry, I gotta have a sip while this is cooling. Okay, next I'm gonna put the lid on my embossing stuff because yeah. Okay, the next thing we do is we're gonna take the alcohol ink. And yes, I'm using a dauber end instead of the felt. So don't email me. I know you're supposed to use a felt. Don't really care. And then what you do is you go around and just kind of dab it. Now on the black, I'm not going to see it other than probably on, I'm only going to see it on the cream. Well, you can kind of see it on the black a little bit. But it's really cool when it hits on the embossing because it goes down in where maybe you didn't have any embossing stuff. And it goes down into the cracks. So you can probably be able to see it better on here. I'm just going to hit it with some alcohol. Ooh, that was a little much. I don't know why I can't talk while I do this. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but you'd be, you stream, you know what it's like when, you know what it's like. People want to leave comments. Just trying to nip that. And the other thing is try not to use a whole lot of this alcohol ink because on this slick surface, it'll get a little bit sticky if you have a lot of layers. So, oh, you know what? I love how that came out. I don't know if the camera will pick this up. Okay, so this was the Tim Holtz. No, first I did the archival paint. Not archival paint, acrylic paint by Master's Touch. And then I was like, that's kind of flat looking. So I added some of the Tim Holtz paint on top of it, and it ended up bubbling. I don't know if you can see. It's like kind of gritty. At first, I thought maybe it was the embossing. Oh, wait, where am I? I don't know if you can see that. Can you see how it's like turned this gritty? That's kind of cool. So let's do a little more rusty on this thing. I should be using rusty hinge on this. All right, one last one. This is flammable, so you kind of want to keep this away from the heat. While these last two are drying, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the paint out, and I am using a little bit of the speckled egg because it's kind of bright, and I ended up toning it down with some of the ice spruce. And then when I tried to just use ice spruce by itself, oh, you can't tell? Oh well, I wish you could feel it because it's kind of cool. Yes, I'm one of those people that I haven't switched over from the dauber to the cap yet. I like the cap definitely better than the dauber, but I can't justify that yet because I don't really use them a whole lot anymore. I do a lot less of the speckled egg is one of my favorite, of course, because it's very retro colored. Okay, now we add a little bit of water. A little more than that. And then I need a brush, and I'm just going to use my little fan brush. And what you're going to do is get this nice and kind of liquidy. Hopefully that's enough water. And you're going to go in when a lot of this stuff because later on you're going to go back and get it with like the archival ink. So, and some of it will be covered up. And then the next steps when the magic happens. So, all right. Need a wet wipe. I think the number 6 needs a little bit more. Yeah. I think I need some. Ooh, okay. You can go back in and wipe it off if you don't like it. Like that did like a big old streak going across it, and I didn't really care for that too much. So, because you have the embossing, there, that's better. Ah! That's fine. Because you have the embossing powder done, you can use just like space. Alrighty. So let's get that off. I need to put this in. I knew I forgot like a water cup or something in here. Okay. Now what I do is I'm going to pick it up with this thing. And then what happens is, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but when you heat it, it does this, like it cooks it into the enamel. I don't think you're going to be able to see it. I don't think you can see it. It cooks it into the enamel and it bubbles and gives you a really cool technique. But you have to make sure you don't burn the embossing stuff. So you just want to hit it with the heat until you'll see the paint start to bubble. It'll almost like boil. It does something with the embossing glaze. And then that's what gives you this like gritty kind of a look. It's really neat. Instead of the speckles, it spreads it and then it makes it bubble. Okay, let's try this one. Oh, here's a big spot. That might, I don't know. How can I do this where you can see it? I don't think you can see that. Let me see if I go this way. No. Oh well, just gonna have to trust me. Go watch Luise's. She somehow zoomed in closer. And then as soon as it stops bubbling, you just stop with the heat. What are you telling me? The powder melts around the paint. Yeah, and then the paint does something cool. The paint bubbles for sure. So it makes it flatten out, and then the paint bubbles. I think you're basically just cooking the paint. You know what? I think I need to do one at a time with the paint because I can see where it's dried, it's not bubbling. There, that one's going. So, FYI, if you're doing several of these, paint and dry one at a time. There it goes. That's cool. That's really cool. I like how that one came out. Okay. Once these are done, then the next step is take your archival ink and you're going to lightly go over the top and like swipe it around so that it goes around the, I'm going to hit the edges too while I'm at it. It goes around the paint, but you don't have to do that if you like the blue look. I think by doing this thing, it dulls it a little bit, but then it does add a little more grunge factor and it tones down that grayish blue. But okay, yeah, see this one didn't bubble. It didn't bubble enough because the paint dried because the flecks were already too small. But that's cool. Okay, I like this look. I love this look. Okay, so we went from this to look how cute these are. This stuff is instead of like that, right? These look like enamel house numbers. That would be really cool to do if you like do like enameled house numbers. That's what they look like to me. They remind me of enameled house numbers. Thanks, Jamie. Anyway, get your chipboard out and get your grunge board. I know y'all have some of this stuff if you didn't throw it out yet. But and then paint it up. So let's see, we'll do some other ones. Let's try the pink one. I want to see what that's going to look like when I put on the blues. I put the antiquing stuff on it. This is a big old giant key. It's like the Wizard of Oz key or something, right? I also had some numbers. I also had some stamps because I thought, oh, I could stamp on this something. I don't know, like what? What's the date today? No idea. Don't even know. Next Friday is the 28th, and I only know that because we're going to the Blues Club. We're taking out my friend's dad, and we're gonna take him out for dinner. And we're going to go out and go to the Blues Club and go see some live music. So if that's the 28th and yesterday's Friday that had to have been the 20th, so today's the 21st. Maybe I'll do that. I'll just do like, I could put holes here and do 20, or let's do like 22. Do I have 5? Well, I guess I was going to do, oh, there it is. Let's do 25. Yeah, I love going to see live music. I'm very fortunate because I am near where the home of the blues. I'm going to do 25 just in case I still have this hanging around at Christmas time. Okay. Knowing me, I probably have it. I could either, if I use it this year, it's 25. If I don't, then I can use it at Christmas time. Oh my gosh, can you imagine this thing? Oh, it's going to take a ton of embossing. Stuff. Okay. So I want to do the edges with the archival ink. Oh, okay. I am on this adventure now. I don't know how many of you did this during the shut-in, but I did not. I think I talked about it in my last stream about how we used to do what was called friendship bread, where you make you make like a yeast out of flour and water, and then it grows, and then you can make bread from it, and then you take it, like, because you have to feed it, so then you have extra, and then you have to like put it in a separate jar. And how it became friendship bread was because you'd make a loaf of bread, and then you would give your friend this starter. Okay, so during the shut-in, like, it became a thing where all these YouTubers started crawling out doing sourdough starter. Well, back in the day, like, it wasn't called sourdough starter. We didn't call it sourdough starter, and we just make bread from it. And we never had any techniques where you had to have like a scale, and oh my goodness, and the ratio, and I mean, we just did it to where it smelled like you could smell that it was fermented, and then you would see the bubbles, like you could tell because it would just be bubbly, and that's how you knew that it was alive. And then you just toss in some more flour and some more water, and you're good to go, after you take a cup of it out to do your bread. Anyway, we used to do it all the time. It's called friendship bread, but now it has become this whole like artisan deal, and they're selling, like, you have to have a Danish thing, and you have to have like a La Crusette to cook it in your stove with, and it's like, what? Anyway, I found it really interesting. Well, I ended up down the rabbit hole, and I have to use icorn flour because I'm allergic to corn, and sometimes flour, a lot of commercial flour, is cut with cornstarch, stuff like that. Okay, I don't know that I want to use this brown archival on these bright colors. I have to think about this. Anyway, so yes, I definitely went down the rabbit hole on this. Okay, grab something to sip because I got to think about what I want to do on the pink and the aqua. Maybe get white ink out. I don't know. Because I don't think I have any permanent white ink. I could use the picket fence. I'll probably use that picket fence. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. Anyway, I know no corn. Well, corn byproducts. So I can eat like corn on the cob, and I don't have a problem. But I can't have any corn byproducts, or I feel like I got hit by a Mack truck the next day. And I get like welts on my face, and it's really bad. My eyes, like, I feel like I got hit by a truck, and yeah, my body's stiff, and I get a lot of inflammation. So I use the icorn, and but in the meantime, I was following this one lady, and she's like, okay, so you have to cut it 1:1 to 1 when you weigh it. Well, I was weighing it. I couldn't find anybody that had anything with cups, like did with like cups or tablespoons or anything. So I make my starter. My starter's going great. So you feed it 5 days straight. You feed it once. On the 5th day, you feed it again, like you cut it in half, and then you feed it again, and then that half becomes a discard, and you can use that to start up another one. So now I've got 2. And then you don't feed it on the 6th day, you let it rest, and on the 7th day, you feed it again. Well, I underestimated how much flour I needed, and when I ordered the icorn flour, it came in, I didn't read it, it was 2 pounds, so it wasn't enough to keep feeding it. And then I had gotten a scale from my sister's house when I took some of the things out of my sister's home, and the batteries died after the first day. So then I wasn't even able to weigh anything. And I'm like, oh no. So I had to get batteries for the scale. I got batteries for the scale. And then I had to wait on the flour to come in. So all I had was all purpose flour. But then I found a lady online that said, take your starter and you can keep it in the refrigerator. You don't have to babysit it every day, because that's kind of the thing, right? So then she said, just put it in the refrigerator, and then take it out, like if you go on vacation, and then take it out after the weekend or whatever, and then you just set it out, and then you just feed it and start over. So you don't have to throw it out. So I was like, okay, good, because this icorn flour is like $16. It's so expensive. It's insane. So I didn't want to have to throw it out and start over again. Then, so I kept those in the refrigerator, but at that point of cutting it in half, I didn't want to throw the starter out. Oh, that's the other thing. Then it snowed, so I couldn't go get any eggs. So I couldn't make like waffles or the stuff you use with the stuff you cut, you know? So then I'm like, okay, great. So now I've got I would cut it and I'd put it in another mason jar, and I only have the small mason jars. I don't have like the big ones. I only had one big one, which is like the first original starter was in. So now in my oven, because I don't have anywhere else to put it, I have it in the oven, not on heat or anything like that. It's just cold oven. So I have all these jars. It's like an incubator for sourdough in my in my stove. So you open it up and there's like, now I have 9 jars, and finally today the icorn came. So now I have to take, oh, so that's what I did. So I 3 of them have I kept pure, just icorn. Then I went and got some King Arthur flour, and I kept the starter going, and those I'm going to give to some friends. So I have that going with the regular flour. So I had to put the organic all purpose flour on the lid, so I know that these are the all purpose flour. These are the icorn. And so anyway, yeah, it's been a thing. Let me tell you, it's been a thing. Oh, Lord. But so I have to wait till 9:30, and then I got to cut all those in half. And then and I don't have time. I was going to make pizza dough, but it takes like 12 hours to raise your pizza dough. And I'm going to church in the morning. So at this point, by the time the flour came, it was like 5 o'clock, and it's like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I can't start pizza now. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess I'm going to cut it again. I washed some more jars that I had. This is why I didn't want to do it, because the pressure. It's a lot of pressure, people. Okay, I don't know how this one's going to come out, but we're going to try it. I'm just going to do the white around it, the edge. See if it kind of makes it a little more modern looking, maybe. You know what? I bet you could use you can use rub-ons on it after you're done. Well, like, yeah. So I've got 9 in the stove, 3 in the refrigerator, and I have 3 more empty jars that I'm going to take the discard and put it in the empty jars. And then that stuff I'll make like cookies. The eggs don't come in till 2 o'clock tomorrow. So I got to go downtown to my egg lady and buy the eggs. I went and I got my milk today because I was out of milk. I don't go anywhere when it snows. We had 5 inches, and it was like 11 degrees, and I went down to 18. So I don't go when it snows, because especially if it gets cold after it snows and then you get the ice, And my driveway is like straight uphill. It's like literally like this. It's a great workout when I have to go take the trash out and get the mail. But yeah, apparently you have to let it I'm living in Tennessee now. Apparently you have to let it rise on the countertop for 12 hours to get the pizza dough. I don't know. Like there's people out there that do the sourdough thing and they'll go like days. They'll do like 3 days to make it and it rises. And then they have like special covers for their, and they name their starter, and it's like, okay, because they say it's a living thing. But to me, and maybe it's to just make you take care of it. Like if you name it, you, I don't know, it makes you take care of it. I have no idea. But back in the day, we didn't do any of this. And then I'm like, oh, I wish I still had like my recipe books from when I was first married, because it probably would be in there. And I'm sure I can find friendship bread somewhere. Like the 1980, it was about 85, 1985. I was just newly married, maybe around 85, 86. And somebody brought me the very first jar of friendship bread stuff in the recipe, but I ended up letting mine die. I mean, I made it and I gave it out to people, but then eventually I let it die. It used to keep it up on the top of the refrigerator, I guess, because it was warmer up there. Not really sure. I guess because, well, temperature rises. But yeah, yeah. But then I watched some other lady and she's like, you can't kill your starter. It's still alive. If it's not moldy, then it's fine. Just feed it. And then found out, okay, why is mine look soupier than everybody else's? Theirs all looks like all bubbly and everything like that. And then I found out that my ratio was not good for my temperature of my house or where I live, or I don't know. So I have to cut the water down to less and do more of the flour when I feed it, because it just was a soupy mess and I wasn't getting this like fluffy, um, bubbly stuff that everybody else was getting. I was like looking at their starters. I'm like, mine doesn't look anything like this. Is it even going to work? And I started this venture on February the 10th. So how many days? It's been a long time. At first I started throwing out. I've started throwing out the discard, because that was what I saw. Somebody said, "Oh, you throw it out," But then I started seeing other people go, "No, don't throw your discard out. You can make stuff with that." And then I found out that all you have to do is feed it, and it starts the whole process again, and it'll become a starter again. So I don't know, but we'll see. If worst case scenario, if it doesn't work out for me, I have a sourdough bakery in town, so uh, I'll just buy the bread from her. And she bakes with the icorn flour. She makes those loaves of bread with icorn. I just don't. I live kind of out from town, so I don't go. She makes sourdoodle, so with the sourdough starter, she makes snickerdoodles. The cinnamon and the sugar on the top. Oh, ooh, they are so good. She only charges $2, and they're like this big. They're huge. And I'm like, so every now and then I'll run in and get myself a treat. I don't really go. If I'm going to town, then I'll pick one up. Okay. It's just you and me, Jamie. What's that song, You and Me Against the World? And I have white paint. This is one of my things. I can't paint with white paint or gesso because it always ends up on my project somewhere where I don't want it, but that's okay because I'm going to put that linen over top of it and it's going to be in there. So, alrighty. Then let's see how these come out. Let me set these aside for now. Wait, why does that look shiny? This one looks shiny. Did I do this one? No, that's not one I did. Oh, did I do one? I did one layer on this one, huh? Did I? And then I never did another layer. I can't tell. It's shiny. Okay, this I need to put in with this thing. So, what else is happening? Oh my goodness, totally binge watched. Okay, you're going to go get a glass of tea. I'll let you go get your sweet pie. Okay, so I ended up binge watching while I was organizing. So I had like one eye on, one eye off. But it's called The Paradise on Amazon. Oh my goodness, it is so good. It was on the BBC. It's from like 2014. It only ran 2 seasons, which I was so bummed. And there are only like 8 shows per season. And I got so involved in like the characters, and it just reminded me of Selfridges so if you liked Selfridges, or if you liked Downton Abbey, kind of that era. Anyway, oh, it was good. It was good. Alrighty. So I can see I'm going to have to dry the paint on these. Ah. See if I can draw with my left and have a sip of tea with my right. Okay, this is taking longer. So we're going to push these off while they're drying. And then I just wanted to see if I could do like some with color instead of, browns. Okay. So I need to daub it first. What else has a key? Does Alice in Wonderland have a key? Because I have so much Alice in Wonderland stuff left over from my swap I did with my friend. Oh my goodness, I have a ton of Alice in Wonderland paraphernalia. That's the other thing I've been doing. So while I was binge watching the Paradise, I ended up sitting and fussy cutting a bunch of kids' books, and I've just did like, instead of having the whole book laying around because I've got so many, I took the images that I wanted, I fussy cut them out, and I think what I'm going to end up putting in, I'm going to put them in my shop, like the pages that I don't necessarily need. I'm just keeping the images that I know I've got some journals coming up, because literally I have like hundreds of stuff. Okay. So that's kind of what I've been doing. I binge watched those. I'm going back now and trying to watch, what's the other one that I was watching? Heart of Dixie. So I'm back kind of watching that again. I kind of stopped watching it for a little bit, and I fast forwarded through some of the things because it kind of got a little weird. But now I've got it. I passed the weird part. Now it's kind of okay. So all good. So there's that one. Oh my. I think I just. This there. Okay. Shake this off. Shake, shake, shake it, Like this right here is something you could totally do while you're binge watching a show. Like very easily because it's kind of mindless. Okay. Man, it must take forever to go through one of those bottles of embossing glaze, right? Oh yeah, I'm only going to do 2 at a time. So it stays wet. Is this the one that matches? Because that'd be really good. Yeah. All right. I'm going to probably put on Heart of Dixie and just sit and get these knocked out. Not, I doubt I'll be able to do, like, yeah, all these. Oh my goodness. There's got to be some kind of mass way. I guess what you said about using a pancake baker or whatever that thing's called, that may be the route I have to take because I've got so many. So should I offer up my pancake thing and then not just go buy another one? Can I use a skillet? Is Jamie back in here? Because I have an electric skillet I don't use. Wouldn't it kind of be the same thing? Or no? This looks like a buckle to me. And that was the inside of something. That wasn't even... the inside of something else. I can barely see the 2-5 through there. Oh, what kind of beans did you make? Okay, so I found this girl on YouTube. Oh my gosh, she's a woman. She's not a girl. But what's the name of her channel? Oh, she does sourdough, but she has 5 children, and she was showing you how you can make tortillas with a sourdough starter, and then she showed how she makes her refried beans. Oh, navy. So she shows you how to do she made refried beans in her Instapot. Now I have a Ninja Foodie, but I can do the beans in there still because I think you just do them in the pressure cooker, right? Isn't that like a pressure cooker thing? But it was she made it look so easy. I'm like, I love refried beans. I never make them. I just go somewhere and buy, get them. If I go out to eat, if I go out to eat, I usually go somewhere where it's something I'm not going to take the time to make. Oh, so we went to this great hibachi restaurant last Friday where you sit and then there's like a little circle thing in the middle. So you sit at your table. Every table has one, and then you sit and you cook your own food. So they bring it. You order like that was hot. I shouldn't be using my finger to move these. So they bring you like sliced meat, and you can have whatever you want. Like you pick off the menu. It's all you can eat. So you pick like different vegetables, but then they bring them to you. Our table was so full because she's like, just order as much as you want. It's all you can eat. I'm like, okay. So our table was full of little dishes. It all comes out on little dishes. And then afterwards, she's like, yeah, I just wanted to let you know you don't have to order it all at one time. She goes, you have a 2-hour minimum. You stay in here for 2 hours. And we'll bring you, like, I guess per person, you can eat like 16 ounces. But anyway, the whole table was full. Okay, what's it say? Got to be careful with the salt in refried beans. Oh, yeah. But you don't, if you make them yourself, you don't have to put salt in them, right? Or you can put, as much salt as you want in them. Okay, these are done. Let's set those aside. I'm going to pull these out because I think that paint is dry now. I can't really tell. No, doesn't look like it's dry yet. Wow, did I put it on that thick? Why is that taking so long to dry? It's crazy. All right, let's get this one out. Anyway, it was really cool. It's kind of like that fondue, the melting pot. Are you familiar with the melting pot? It's the same thing where you sit and except you have steamy, you have a fondue thing in front of you. This is like a little round grill built into the table, and then you take a piece of fat and you put it on the grill so your meat doesn't stick. Anyway, it's a whole experience. It was fun. I don't know that I ate $30 worth of food, but it was good. Okay. Wow, big. This thing is big. Oh, you put a lot in there? I don't know. I think if you buy the ones that are already made, right? But why would you have to add salt? If you're making them yourself, you wouldn't have to add the salt. Just, you could cut it in a quarter of what the recipe calls. I don't salt my food anyway. Never, I haven't salted my food since I was probably 12 because my father died of a heart attack. Well, he had a heart attack first, and then we couldn't have salt on the table anymore. So, because I guess they felt like salt causes high blood pressure. So they took him away from the salt. And so then my mother had us all on a salt-free diet. And I never added salt back into my food after that, I don't miss it. And if you cook with butter, that's got salt in it, unless you use the unsalted butter. So yes. Well, my brother's 5 years younger than me. And then I have another brother who's 5 years older than me. And then it was him, my sister Melody, and my other sister Darcy. Darcy was 8 years older than I was. So she was more like a mother to me growing up. That's why we were so close. Like, she's the one that took me to get my ears pierced. Of course, she asked my mother first, but yeah. Although my brother and I were talking about what a terrible babysitter she was with us. It's like, it would definitely be abuse right these days. They would have considered it abuse, no doubt. One of the things she used to do is, okay, so my mother, when my parents would go out and she had to babysit, she would duct tape us to the dining room chairs, or tape us or tie us to the dining room chairs, and she'd like threaten us within an inch of our lives if we said anything to our parents. And she said, if you're good, you know, I'll get you ice cream or whatever on the way home from school. Because she used to take us, she'd bring us home from school. Because we lived in a small town and all our, like, we had one school where we all went to school. But yeah. So. She just didn't want to be, she didn't want to be bothered with us, I guess. I don't know. Yep, she had a friend, Teresa, I'll never forget. And then one time she had to babysit me, and her and Teresa's boyfriends. I grew up in Connecticut, and so her and Teresa used to go to want to go see their boyfriends out at the tobacco field. Well, my mother wouldn't let her go by themselves, so they always had to take me. And then they would like leave me on a picnic table. They'd tell me that they'd buy me an ice cream if I didn't say anything, and then they'd go hang out with their boyfriends in the tobacco fields where their boyfriends would pick tobacco. So, oh, you grew up in Houston? Wow. I always liked Houston. I thought that was nice. Okay, so that's done. Now I got to do the alcohol ink. Oh, not on my sanding dauber. Anybody see my dauber? Oh, it's over here. How can stuff go missing? My desk isn't even that messy. Oh, this is so cool doing this. This looks really cool. I need to get some like in that ditch. So I think when we got older, she started being nicer to me because I think she knew she was not nice to me when we were little. But you know, back then that's sibling stuff, so no biggie. That's why. Okay, so I have a video coming up where I do a haul, and I was reading this article on things you could do to prank people. I got one of those Pack-a-Fun magazines from the 1950s, and it had in there, you know, how you could things you could do to prank people for April Fool's Day. And there was like, sew your brother's pants shut. Like, so you sew the hem of the pant shut. I'm like, okay. Then they talked about like short sheeting your siblings' bed. And I'm thinking, okay, why would they suggest this? You know, you're going to, like, if you have an older sibling and you do this to your older sibling, like, seriously? Oh my goodness. You know, you're getting your butt whooped. I would have anyway. It was a pretty funny article. Yeah, exactly. Payback. I think I'm gonna try to use a rub-on one of these, see how that comes out. Ooh, I really like what this does on this embossing stuff. That's cool. Do you guys just ever just like make like just stuff, things like this, and then you don't do anything with it? Or do you only make things because you have a purpose in mind? Okay, so let's see. Okay, wait. Before I do that, I move these over, let the alcohol ink dry. And then I think this is dry now. So let's get the embossing dauber out. Or do you just make ephemera to make ephemera for ephemera's sake in case one day you need it? I don't know. I'm kind of torn on the whole thing. I don't have a lot of space in my new room for storing that kind of stuff. So, but I do have like a little bin going of, I've been making some ephemera, and just because a lot of times, even though I'll save a video, a lot of times I will forget techniques and stuff. And so this way, if I do it, then I write it down, then I have the piece, and then I can always go back. Like, do you keep an idea journal or where you keep a piece in there? I know some people do. They'll hold one piece back. They'll make a bunch of it for journals or whatever, and then and then they'll hold a piece back and they'll put it in like what's called an idea journal. I'm wondering if I could, you know how Dee Dee does, Inky Wells, she does her compendium of ideas, and then she kind of works out all her ideas on paper and stuff. I mean, maybe I could add that to, but I would probably need to do it on a ring binding system where I could expand it. Because if you do it for ephemera and you write it down and then you stick a piece of ephemera on there, eventually it's going to get really thick. So, okay, that's on there. Let's see what happens when I use this. I may like it and I may not like it. Oh my goodness. She has a ton of just journals. Have you ever been in her room? She invited Darcy and I that one time for a stream. Huh. Amazing. Like, you know how some people just will art and they'll do a journal, and I have a lot of journals, but they maybe only have 1 or 2 pages of journaling. Like, I'll start the journal and then I forget about it. Then I'll go back and I'll kind of work in it. And I have a bunch of half filled or 1 page written in journals. But hers are all full. Like, hers are not, they are full and overflowing. Like, she's constantly getting to art. It's so amazing. I think this might kind of look, I don't know. This reminds me of cinnamon toast. Now I'm wanting cinnamon toast. Which I haven't had dinner yet. I missed a whole side on that one. Okay. I don't know. This might look like, I don't know. Maybe if I had clear on these, I don't know. We'll see. I don't have any clear. Like I said, I got rid of it all. Worst case scenario, I chuck it out. Or I paint over it. Okay. We will try. I don't have any clear. I got rid of all my embossing. Because, right now, it's I can feel the little crystals on my hand, and it just, yeah. It's okay. When I go to the beach, I lived in Florida for 40 years. When I went to the beach, literally would have to rinse off immediately getting out of the ocean. And I'd put lotion on when I was home so it would get good and dry because I don't like sand stuck to myself. So, oh gosh. And then I have to like rinse off. I would set my chair where the shower is. Okay, let me see how that. Well, we'll see. I don't know. All right. I don't know. Do I do this and then I'm just going to embrace it? Maybe I won't do them all. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I don't. I moved for ministry. I had an opportunity to move. It's a long story. But anyway, yeah, that's why I moved. And also because I had a stalker of an ex-husband who was showing up in my neighborhood. Even though I lived in like a gated community, like I moved into a gated community because, anyway, so that I would feel safer. But you can get in with a realtor, and that's what he was doing. He had a friend who was a realtor. Oh yeah, everything's cheaper here. No state tax. There's no state tax in Florida either, though. But yeah, insurance is definitely, it's like half. Okay. Yeah, I'm not crazy about it with the pink no. I'm not going to waste the embossing. Okay, forget that. I should do it. I would like it if it was clear with the white. Chucking these. I have tons more, but I don't want to waste the embossing powder. All right. There's some embossing powder on there. Yeah, no hurricanes. We do have tornadoes here though. Pretty brutal ones. In fact, we had one come through and drop 3 trees. Took out the rest of my house. We get straight line winds that took out a tree and went through the center of my house. And then the next year, don't throw them out. Email them to you. What? Mail them to you. Okay, well then I'm going to have to finish. I'll finish embossing them at least. I'll mail them to you. You sure? They're kind of hideous. You'll probably make them look great though. Oops. Oops. Do you want me to finish them? Okay, see that one? Now why did that go clear and then that's brown? I don't get it. Okay, leave them as is. Leave them as is. But I'm going to dry the embossing powder because that's just going to end up all in the envelope. As is. You got it. All right. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Okay. I'll leave them as is. You got them. If you're on my Instagram, shoot me your. I think you are. I think we are. We follow each other on Instagram. Okay. I didn't think you'd want all the little crusty bits in there without the. Did that dry? Yeah. All right, let me get these finished. I got to paint them. And I need to do, I was going to do like, I learned my lesson the last time, one at a time. Ice spruce and speckled egg. Is there one in between this that makes it more of a green? Because these are both kind of on the blue hue. I thought there was one that was in between, but I might be wrong. That's it. Okay. I need my little fingers. Let's see. That looks like a good spot to grab. A long time to bubble. I thought there was one that looked more like an old Tiffany box. Speckled egg. There was something I thought that came, not cracked pistachio. Oh, salvage patina. That's it. Where's my salvage patina paint? I didn't see that in the box. Because that would have been a good color. That's why I'm having to mix these two together. Wonder where my salvage patina is. You know, I have a to-go bag of crafting stuff that I take camping, and I bet you it's in that. Okay, there they go. Now they're bubbling. You don't have salvage patina? Oh, yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. And then I'd say that speckled egg was my second favorite. Scorched timber. What's garden patina? I don't know that one. Garden patina? I just got this scorched timber ink pad, the oxide ink pad. There it goes. Ah! Almost flipped it over. Okay. It's like, Need to move it over here because it's a little too close to the paint. Lurkers, feel free to say hi and thumbs up. Aw, thank you for saying that. I love the lurkers. I lurk all the time because I watch on my television. So if you got lurkers in your show, it's probably me. Because I watch a lot of times on my TV and you can't leave comments. Okay, that one's done. Yeah, you know, if everybody gives a thumbs up at the same time, it's very interesting. We tried this on one of my streams, and it's true. If everybody blasts out like a thumbs up at the same time, then it will go out to more people. They send it out into the world, at least to your followers. I did notice that because I had people I hadn't seen in a long time pop in. Oh, you watch on the TV? Yeah, it's true. We did that one time, and I hadn't seen Mitzi in forever. She came in, Dar came in. It was like, what? Yeah, do it. Yeah, when you're doing a live. I think it's just because it does something to like the algorithm. Is it algorithm? Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh. Those are hot. Okay, is this cool now? No, that's still warm. This one cool? Yeah, this one's cool. Alrighty. Put this back over here. Yeah, she's still around. I hadn't seen her in forever. I see Dar every now and then in Dee Dee's. Every now and then I'll catch Dee Dee in the morning. And I've seen her in that chat sometimes. Very rarely, but yeah, I like what that does when you put that on. It just, yeah, it looks cool. Yeah, we were talking about steampunk soiree one night in here when Dar was in here. And then Xandra popped in for a minute and she said she still had I had made a fascinator and it was like an old-timey camera, you know, with the bellow. And she said she still had it. I was like, what? That's crazy. Couldn't believe it still made it that far. Says a lot for score tape. Well, I would say that was a lot of fun. These, I like the look of these. It's really cool. And I think it's a great way to use up your, I think they just look a lot better because it's more 3D on these things. I don't know if you can tell, but it's more 3D. So it's a great way. Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. What? I didn't know you had that. I missed that. Yeah, I think for the grunge board, I think this is a really cool idea to do for the grunge board. I think it holds up to the heat really nicely. And the thing about grungeboard, it's not as heavy as chipboard. Chipboard is a little bit heavier, but even then, you know, if you didn't want to have the layer of chipboard, you could still, if I didn't want to have it this thick, I could still peel the back of the chipboard off and make it thinner, you know, just peel that off. I do that all the time, especially some of those chipboard alphabets. Oh, you know what else I've been doing too is I found I'm trying to use it up because I never used it, but this thing, hold on one second. I got stuff all over now on my table. I'll show you. Okay, if I was that little bowl I had the other day. Okay, I've been using this. Do you still have one of these things? These old Xyrons. I don't even know if they make the Xyron sticker paper anymore. But because I was fussy cutting, I started running them through I was fussy cutting all these like little images, like the hand-drawn images out of magazines. I had some like old magazines. And I went through a huge stack because they were in a box. They weren't the vintage ones. They were just like ones I was using for like just my own art journal. And oh, they do still make it? I know. So I have two of them. How I have two, I have no idea. Maybe I lost one, then end up getting another one. I don't know. But I have two of them. So I'm going to use them and then donate them because I know why I don't use it. Why I stopped using it is because the rolls were so expensive. They got really expensive. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. But so anyway, so I'm just going to use them up until can't use them anymore. That's my thought. But yeah, I was sitting here the other night when I was fussy cutting. I'm like, oh, that's what I could do with these things. I could just make a bunch of my own little stickers, like out of these little hand-drawn little doohickeys. And then I could put them in on my calendar. I think one of the things about it is it's so small. It was good for like alphabets, like if you have to do alphabets. That's I think what I mainly used it for was doing alphabets. But anyway, I have a lot of these little things. So, but I always felt like you waste so much. Like there's just a lot of waste to this thing. Not everything gets in there either. And then it won't grab it and go down, and then it's like, I just wasted some. True. Yeah, that's how I felt. Exactly. So I decided when it's gone, and I will donate it. But I thought this is a good way, you know, in words, like words you cut out. Those on there. This might be too wide. Oh no, that's already on one. Some of these are already on. I think this is too wide. Yeah. Bathing suit too wide. No, I think that'll go down in there. Birthday cake. Yeah, I think it was Real Simple had all these little hand-drawn. Real Simple magazine. They were all like little hand-drawn things in their on their contents pages. So, and they were cute little. It's great. But see, this is what happens. You end up with this big gap of where you waste. But anyway, super cute, and I thought this is a good size for my calendar. I just have like a big desk calendar, that I leave sitting out. So put these in the little container and randomly stick them on there, because it's not like I don't have any of those sticker books that I don't use. Yeah, the gaps for sure. Yeah, it's not like I don't have like a ton of those. Oh, I know I was gonna do with that one. I was gonna use my circle punch. That was the other thing. I gotta find my. I don't have the right size circle punches in here, and I found them the other night. I guess I didn't bring them in here. This one I think is gonna be. No, it's not. It's not too big. I just know I have to put it on a piece of paper though, because where's that paper that I had with the double stick tape? How did it work? Because the magazine paper is very thin and it's fussy. Oh, that's not working because I just put it too far away. Let's see if that goes in there. Just shove it down in there. You grabbing? There it goes. Anyway. The lemon was too big. I knew that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was going through my books and I found this little thing of this little boy, and he's holding the frogs, and it's at the frog jumping contest, the annual jumping frog jubilee. And when I was a kid, I used to enter the one that was at the Mark Twain house. And so I thought, oh, I'm going to add this to my journal because it just reminded me. I'm like, it's in this book. Anyway, I don't have any pictures of myself though with my frog. My frog one year, I only remember the name of one of my frogs. His name was Humphrey Bowfrog. That was his name. We didn't win. You could use a feather to make it jump, and they gave you like a couple of things that you could use to make it jump. And it was on a table with like a grass, like AstroTurf. Did you ever do that when you were a kid? Anyway, yeah, it was fun. They used to hold at the Mark Twain house outside of Hartford. So yeah, so these were ones that I already had made. But I still have a lot because I have 2 of them and I have a lot. So I need to go hit up my Daphne's diary and see if I can find some cute little images in there. Like the lemon was too big. It was cute, but it ended up being too big. But yeah, I don't store it with the plastic on, and I cut them up. So I just rub this. You rub it and it gets the sticky stuff off. Like it transfers the sticky stuff over. Oh, you didn't like frogs? You know what? I used to get them all the time. I used to pick up frogs all the time when I was a kid, but now I cannot stand frogs. Oh my goodness, I can't stand frogs. Like I scream when I see them. I don't like them that much, and I'm thinking, okay, but as a kid, like we used to go down to we had a little pond that had a creek that ran on, because we lived on a farm, and we used to go down to the creek and down to the pond, and we'd catch them pollywogs and all that stuff. Yep. Yeah, you do have to rub them pretty good, but they're stuck on there. But I can feel that. I can feel that embossing powder. Ah, I don't know. Oh my gosh. Do you know how long it's going to take me to do? Do you know how long it's going to take me to do all of these? I got to come up with a better way. There must be a faster way to mass do them because I love the look. I think I'll use them now that they look like this and not like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not that this is bad, but this just takes it up a notch. Just kind of elevates them. Anyway, maybe I tend to kind of all in and then I burn out and then it sits for a little bit. Yes, that was that company Rusty Pickle. I still have some of their stuff. I was hoarding it for a while. Now I'm not. Now I'm like using everything because once you lose everything, then you have a new respect for what you have. And you either use it or you give it to somebody who will use it. I had that discussion in here one night because I was like, I eat on my fine china and my crystal now because I have my mother's, I have my grandmother's, I have my sister's. She had my grandmother's everyday china. It was like china, but she used it every day. And so, yeah, that's what I use now. Oh, I forgot to take the plastic off. Whoops. And everybody who comes over, they're like, what are your everyday glasses? And I'm like, that's my everyday glasses. They're like, wow, these are fancy. And I'm like, okay, but look at like the 3 other covers because I have about 12 sets. So have at it. We don't have anyone in our family that wants them. Nobody wanted them. You know, I'm like, I'm taking them because why should I eat off Walmart glasses when I can drink out of crystal and eat off china? Hey, Jersey Gypsy, how are you doing? Oh, I'm using, it's called, hold on, I'll show you. It's called the Sticker Maker. And I have had it, well, so much for having a circle. I just tore that one. I have had it for years. Apparently, Jamie said they still make it. APG, Jamie said they still make the refills for these, but it's the Xyron Create sticker. Mine's purple. They have different colored ones. Just looks like an X. And it makes anything flat into a sticker. And I have 2 of these. Why? I don't know why. I have 2. You know what? I think I bought 2 to make one permanent, and then you could get one that wasn't permanent. And I think that's why I had 2 dispensers. But I'm looking in this now, and I think, so it comes with a cartridge. This is permanent too. So it comes like a cartridge like this, and then you just insert the cartridge in here till it snaps in. And then you, let's see what I got. If I can run something through here, I'll run. Hold on, I'm going to cut some of this, which I could cut it after it's on there, I guess. I don't have to cut it now. I'm coming up with a cleaning schedule, and I had Real Simple, and they were doing like clean your house they clean your house in a week. Like they give you a schedule to do in a week for spring cleaning. And it listed some really cool things that I didn't even think of. Like there's some things that you can do. Now I wouldn't do some of that stuff they tell you to do. Like They tell you can put like your air filters in your dishwasher and that kind of stuff. I don't know. You know, not the air filters, but the register. Like what? Okay, so you put it, you just stick it in the one hole, and then on the other end at the bottom, there's this thing, you just kind of grab it, and it will grab your piece of paper that you're turning into a sticker, and then you pull it down and you tear it off. But I do like a whole strip, one long strip. And then you just kind of, I press it to get some of the sticker stuff off. And then you just peel the plastic. See, this part will be sticky on the, because there wasn't anything there, so you toss that part. And then you have a sticker. And then that's a sticker. So, yes, use the good stuff. You know, I have a setting on my dishwasher for like China. So I just put it, listen, nobody in my family wants it because everybody was married, everybody has their own china, and they don't want everybody else's china. So I'm like, I'm using it. Yeah. Hey Tammy Time, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, it's neat. I think maybe the price on the refills has come down now, so but back in the day they were pretty pricey, and I just never used them. I used them more for alphabets. That's what I was telling Jamie. I would put the alphabets in here. You know, when you die cut a bunch of alphabets, you put them in there and they become a sticker, and it was just easier than sitting there gluing every single little alpha down. It was before the Cricut, when you could get the sticker paper and cut the stuff out on your Cricut or the scan and cut. Anyway, but it's a good way to use up those little. I was going through getting some images out of some magazines, and I saw these cute little like watercolored images on the contents pages of a Real Simple magazine. So I thought, oh, those will be really cute little things to put on my planner. And like, look at the little Hello Kitty cupcake, the lemon. I have a pair of sneakers because hopefully this will motivate me for working out. A watermelon cooler. I thought that looked really good. I did some numbers that were on there. I thought that was a cool graphic. And then there was a money jar. So I thought that was kind of neat. You know, you could keep track of your spending or whatever, bills. Books, book stack. And then they had this like little watercolor art palette. And then they were doing this clean house thing. So I went through and I just cut out some of the words. This one, I think this might be too wide to go in there. They do make a wider one. It was called like the cheetah or something. Yes, a little too wide for that. I think, wasn't it called like the cheetah? Okay, so a 4-pack of a refill is $27. Huh. Okay. And how many feet, how many yards was in it? I forgot. It was like 3 yards or something, wasn't it? Anyway, I just stopped using it, and I thought, I was unpacking and trying to unpack into my craft room, and I came across those in a box, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna either use it or I'm gonna lose it. And so I decided what I'm gonna do is use it and lose it. I'm gonna use it. And then when I'm done with the cartridges, I'm going to donate the little machine. $20 feet. So 3 feet in a yard. So not quite 7 yards. They have them everywhere. Michael's. It's called the Xyron 1.5 inch Create a Sticker. I guess they didn't do it in yards because it would have to be 21 feet. So, right? It would have, if they had done 21 feet, then they could have said 7 yards. Like, wouldn't that have been easier? I don't know. So it's by Xyron, Xyron, and you can get it off Amazon. And APG Jamie just looked it up and said there's a 4-pack refill on Amazon, $27. Yeah, it is a cool little machine. Yep. Yeah, it was great. That's why I bought it when it came out. And they have one that is not, that are temporary. So like the big thing was you could put it on something and then, you know, move it around. So they have like a, oops, I tore it. But yeah, and then you got your sticker. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good price. So that's 80 feet. That's a lot. That's a lot. For $27, 80 feet of tape. That's pretty good. I just don't know that I would continue using it. I don't know. But in the meantime, I did use it. So, except now I got to go cut up. But you know what I just thought of? Oh, hang on 1 second. I just thought of something. I have, I found this in a bin too. I've got like, oh my goodness. So before I moved, because I had so many Daphne diaries, because I was buying them while I was over in Australia and when I lived there, and I couldn't bring the whole thing back, so I was just cutting out pages that I wanted. And I betcha I've not even looked at this. I don't even know what's in here. I just knew that I was like tearing them up and taking things that I wanted. But what I'm thinking is, I bet you there might be images in here. Well, there's actual stickers in here. So I don't know. Let's see. There's Faux might have some. I may have. Like, see, look at her. She'd be a cute little sticker. But yeah, look, I just took the stuff that I wanted to keep. These are stickers. I need to take the stickers out because I could use those in my planner. And then I kind of ditched the rest of it, right? Because I could only bring home 50 pounds in my suitcase. Oh wait, you know what this is? These would make cute stickers. These are, I guess this is supposed to be like a banner. But if I cut where the holes are, I'd have a whole sheet of, whole thing of, because I'm not going to make this banner. I'm just saying. I know me, not making a banner. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Jersey Gypsy's new. So we've been trying to clue her in, like, don't go feel like you have to have everything, or there's just like a lot of stuff you don't need. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you don't need, but you end up getting everything because you haven't discovered like your style. Once you know your style, and then once you pick out, I'm gonna stick with mixed media, right? Or I like clean lines. So you don't need to have all the stuff, right? Right? Yeah, the birds are cute, aren't they? Anyway, that is, you know what this would be good for too, now that I'm looking at it? Because these would make cute tabs. Let me cut one out. And then I'm thinking, because you could, and I would peruse, if I was just starting out, I would go to all the thrift stores and start out that way. There are so many people. Why can't I make a tab? I would lose the other bird though. I'd lose the other bird. But because it has the hole markings, it's really for a banner. I think I'm not going to do a banner. I know myself. I know myself. I'm going to make bird stickers for my planner. Anyway, I would start out definitely going to estate sales and thrift stores. That's how I would be in. Because even if you don't want to get the vintage things, there are tons of people that are crafters that die and the families don't know what to do with all their craft stuff. Like when my sister passed, she had all the things and I didn't need anything because we bought the same things. And so I already had it all. And I didn't live there. And so I ended up donating everything. And I'm telling you what, whoever shopped those thrift stores, they made out. They made out because like I donated her. She had a silhouette. She had a scan and cut. She had the Cricut. That everything I donated. I didn't need it. I already had it all. So, yep, yard sales. Exactly, Tammy. Yes, exactly, Tammy. Yep. You keep buying everything. Yep, you keep on. Well, let me tell you, a good source, Jersey Gypsy, is your local library. If you have a local library where you are, you can get all the ephemera that you need in there. Do that and go get yourself a 50 cent, um, what do you call it? You don't even need that. You can, if you have just go buy yourself a little thing of white paint and get a magazine for 10 cents from the Friends of the Library. My library sells off all their magazines for 10 cents. And you can use that. You just put white paint over the pages and go to town and use that as a journal when you first start. Yeah, it's really super smart to do that. And for me, what I found was I would spend more money on like tools because they don't wear out. And then I'd also pick like a color palette. Like I tend to pretty much stay in one zone. I'm not like a red user. I'm not a purple user. So if I have any red or purple in my room, it's because someone gave it to me or I had needed it for a project back when I used to design for companies. But you have a Cricut and you don't know how to use it? What? Oh my gosh, Tammy, I can show you how to use it. I've been with Cricut since they first started. I had the very first one. And now it's so funny because they came out with that Cricut Joy, and I'm like, wait, that's like the original Cricut. Oh, see, that's fun. Yep, the phone book's great because you can use phone book like for decoupage. It's kind of like pattern people. Yeah, exactly. Like not pattern people. Oh my gosh, what am I saying? Like pattern paper. Why are you? Oh, don't be scared of it. It's so easy. You haven't opened it out? Have you opened it up out of the box? Oh, they still give you appointment cards at the doctor's office? That's cool. Yeah, exactly, Jamie. It's just paper. Yep, business cards. Yep, I went. Oh, it's so funny because okay, so this I'm so bad. Okay, like I have been. This is what needs to go in my junk journal right now. This is like uh people send me mail. I take if it's a cool stamp, like this is a barn with the flag on the side. That's so cool. So I cut that. Like that's awesome. Put that in a cluster, right? A tea bag, you could decoupage on the tea bag if you cut the tea bag paper. If you cut the top off, decoupage on the front, and then use it like a pocket on a page. Glue it to a pocket on a page. Starbucks was giving away free coffee on, was it last week? I think it was. February the 10th, they were giving away free coffee. So I went and got my free coffee and I kept it. And you can do all kinds of stuff with this thing. Die cut it, just keep it as is, use it like a pocket, all kinds of stuff. Okay, then when I got my Simon Says stamp order, I ordered a couple of things out of Simon Says stamp, and I thought this was so cute. And I will either put like paper here to make a journaling card, and I could add some other stickers there. So I got that. I saved that from, I was going through some old cards and I had this one for March. So I started throwing March stuff in here. Let me see. This was some socks I bought. Look how cute with the sheep on it. But that would make a great tag. So this kind of stuff, I keep it all. I keep it all. I ordered, Sticker Mule was having a deal, and so I ordered some stickers for myself from Sticker Mule, and you get this for free. So he's cute. What else do I have in here? Some old buttons. I got die cuts and stuff. But here's another one. This had a hummingbird and a sunflower. What else I got? So what I do is, as I'm collecting, I just toss it in here. My sister gave me this card. She sent me this. So probably this would make a cute little journal cover even. And then I could put a label here. Aw, you're welcome. Yeah, that's what we're here for, right? Old envelope. This was really cool. This was in a pile of junk, and the sticker stuck to the envelope, and so I'm gonna soak it off. But anyway, it's pink envelope. That was cool. Post-it notes. This is a Trader Joe's bag. Oh my gosh! So Trader Joe's has the best grocery bags. And they have all kinds, like this looks like washi tape. You can cut that down and turn it into washi tape if you have a Trader Joe's. Like I could cut these out, just die cut it. Even if I don't want to use the whole thing, you can still cut the images out. What else is in here? There's a bag from my local market. I got this thing from the Goodwill bins. It didn't have the album in it. It was just a piece of paper, so... But I thought that was a cute image with the two little girls and the birds for spring with the butterfly and the bunnies. And they're like going to church, I guess. I don't know. But it says big sister, little sister. Cute. Let me see. Your local library will have a the month calendar. You could always use this. You can paint over the days that you don't care about if you want to. The outside of tissue paper, if you use the tissue paper, this is the actual outside of the tissue paper from Dollar Tree. So, right? Oh, that's funny. Okay, so then Dollar Tree had these little candies, which I did not recommend. The candies were nasty, but in my opinion, and so probably because it's full of all kinds of artificial dyes and artificial flavors. They were gross, but come on, the packaging, adorbs. This would be a really cute little cover for like a memo cover. Like a little booklet. You could even use this as the spine if you want to, but for me, I was just going to cut Snoopy out and the Be Mine. I was just going to use it like a die cut. What else I got in here? Oh, I went to the Elvis Graceland. I went, tickets are always good if you go somewhere, or if you have friends that go somewhere, tell them to keep their tickets and then you use them for the graphics. Oh, this is the makeup I use. She had a card in this. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's like white with the black ink flowered on there. Oh, this came in that I ordered something from scrapbook.com. At Christmas, somebody gave me a gift certificate to scrapbook.com. And I kept the card that came in. It says, "I'm sorry for what I said when I ran out of adhesive." I thought that was pretty funny. Oh, that's funny. You want the Elvis ticket. I know, right? Yeah. I went to Graceland at Christmas. That was my Christmas present to my sister. When she came, we went. And they also had like free, like they gave us these because they were getting ready to do the Pompeii exhibit. And then I've got my pattern paper in here, old stickers. I got paper. What else? I have some. Oh, I stamped. Oh, don't underestimate stamps. Stamp with archival ink on fabric. These make great tags and patches, and actually have a Girl Scout patch Valentine's Day. But anyway, it's all in here, and have I even worked on it yet? I took the pattern girls out of my pattern book and I blew them up, and I'm going to use them. Yeah, here we are halfway through February. Have I even done February yet? No, have not even done February yet. Terrible. So anyway. Okay, so you don't have a printer. You can always have them printed, but then they don't become free. You can get them printed pretty cheap at like Office Depot or Office Max or Staples. They'll run specials. You can get them printed there if you need to. Or the library, you can print them at the library. Yeah, the pattern girls, I just put them on my printer and blow them up if I want them bigger. Oh, you're welcome. You know, that's what's fun about the community is that we are all like into all the stuff, and especially anyone who's done it for such a long time. Like some of the ladies that are in here and we're all talking. We've learned, and you kind of learn what you use and what you don't use. And one of the things that I would suggest not going down personally is try to feel like you have to have all the things. I used to design for several companies, and so I have a lot of stuff because when you design for another company, they send you like their product line to use. I don't do it anymore. I haven't done it in years, but yeah. Yep. I think my library is 20 cents to print it out. Mm-hmm. And now they just do it where you can just Bluetooth it. So you don't even have to have you just drop it from your phone to their printer thing. Yeah. Oh, I'm telling you, the library is like amazing. And the library has some awesome free ephemera. Just saying. Mine does. They have the cutest, every month they come out with the cutest little bookmarks. So, yep, the library, I suggest the library for printing too because it's very inexpensive. If they have the capability, yes. So, and a lot of times if they have the capability, like my library, their printer is not inkjet, it's laser. So then you can, use wet stuff with it. But yeah, I got all these. I used to make journals from this stuff. I loved it. I love it. But they've been packed up for so long. I just forgot I had them. So I need to pull these out. I need to make a junk journal for myself for spring using all the Daphne's Diary things. There's a lady I follow, and I don't have one near me, but at the dump where you would go take your like trash, like the stuff you can't put down at the end of your driveway. I think, what do they call it? It's called something station. And they will put like the things you can the things that are still useful, and they have like a little separate place that they have it. Some of them are free. She has one near her, and hers is I think everything in it's like 25 cents or 10 cents for books and 25 cents for anything else. And she'll come home with all kinds of stuff. What do they call that? Something station. I haven't looked in to find out if we have one at our it's not the recycle center. It's actually literally where you would go and take your, you take stuff that you can't put in your trash can at the end of the road. Do they still call it the dump? I don't know. We used to call it the dump back in the day. And I know a lot of people, they'll go to the dump and they will pick through that stuff too. But I think, and people will pick through and they'll set it in that something station. Help me. Does anybody know what that's called? Somebody Google it. Oh, it's gonna bug me. Anyway. Well. You don't know what it's called? Yeah, we call it the dump. Something station. Well, anyway, you could call your local dump and find out if they have anything like that. They have like a little off building, like a shed, because she'll stream from, like, she'll do her YouTube. I wish I could remember who I was watching. I haven't seen her probably over a year, but she would do hauls from there. And then she took us one time, like, and did a video from there, and it was like literally in a shed. So when you pull to go in, it's before you go in, it was like kind of across from like the way station. Oh my gosh, yeah. That's one of the reasons why I haven't gone, because I'll have the same issue. I'll bring it all home. I'd be like a little raccoon or squirrel. I'd want to bring it all home. So yeah, that's why I haven't gone. I thought about the other place too, and I don't know if you have one of these where you are. A craft reuse store. PDX is one that's out in Portland. I have seen there's a new one that just opened up in Dallas, where like crafters will come and they'll bring their stuff and donate their stuff. So it could be like gently used paints and things like that. Yeah, exactly, Jamie. And then you really wouldn't have a little cute crafty shed. You'd have it all filled with like all the stuff, right? I'd be dragging it all home too. Oh my gosh. I had to stop going to the Goodwill bins for that reason, because I just have so much stuff. It's like, because I was going to the Goodwill bins because all my stuff was in storage still, and I had to live like I was renting for 2 years with all my stuff in storage. So I started going to the Goodwill bins to buy like stuff to craft with and like do kits and stuff like that. And so then I ended up with all the stuff that I bought over those 2 years. And then when my pods came, when my house was finished being fixed, oh my goodness, it's a nightmare. Exactly. Hey, it's in the eye of the beholder, right? Oh my goodness. I have so many books, and I've been fussy cutting the images out. Oh goodness gracious. I've been fussy cutting the images out so I don't have to store the books, because then I was like, "Oh my goodness, I need bookcases." So I have a room above my garage that's not finished, but what I did was I put bookcases up there and I put all the books in there. And then I'm thinking, I am buying bookcases for these books that I'm going to tear up. And I'm like, this is crazy. So now what I started doing was take the book, and it's like, how many book blocks do you need, right? Like, how many do you really need? And I'm thinking I could always go to the Goodwill bins and buy a book, or go to the library and get one of their ones that they have a table there that's free. Once they sit there for a while, they'll put them on the free table. So yeah. Anyways. Oh my, what? Your stuff was in storage for 20 years? Oh, yes, you have me beat. My stuff was only in storage for 2 years because I didn't have a roof on my house. Oh man, 20 years. That's probably, you probably feel like you won the lottery. That's what everybody told me. They're like, oh, you probably feels like your birthday or Christmas or something. And literally, when I started unloading, I'm like, why in the world did I save this? What is this? And so I set my car up next to the pod, and I was putting stuff in my car, and I'm thinking, it wasn't even worth it. But when I went into storage because I was moving, and I put the stuff in store in the pods to move them here, I didn't realize that a tree was going to fall in my house when I was moving here. On my way to my house, a tree fell on it. So then after my third pod and carrying in all this like craft stuff and bins and boxes of books and all that stuff, is just like, oh no, 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 no. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was doing. I'm like, why did I save this? Oh my goodness. So true. Well, Jersey, if you would email me at thepreppycraftygirl@gmail.com, I will, if you want, you can email me your address and I will send you a box of stuff. If you email me and just say kind of like what you're interested in, if you like more, like what era, or if you like more modern things or something like that, I will mail you out a package of stuff for free, as Happy Mail, if you're still in here. Just tell me kind of like what you're looking for, because I probably have it. I probably have it. Oh, I keep calling you Jersey Girl because Jersey Girl was that movie with Ben Affleck and uh, oh shoot, Liv Tyler. That's what it reminds me of. But I have like all kinds of fabric and I don't know, scrapbook paper. I have tons and tons of scrapbook paper. Yeah. Seam binding. Anyway. Oh, hey Sandy, you're not late to the party. You're right on time to say hi and bye. This is what we did. Okay, we turned these things into these things, and we turned grungeboard things into these things. So that's what we did tonight. And then we did these kind of things, but these are going to Jamie because I don't know. It's not what I was thinking in my head how they were going to turn out. Okay. Glad I did, as I am so alive and living with better quality of life. Aw. Along with third state. Oh no. Okay. My progress. Oh, that's so good. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. That the move helped. Yeah, I bet you the dry air and the sunshine and yep. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're having a good time. I'm always happy to see that you're in here, keeping me company. So it's not like just me in here talking to myself. But I always have to kind of visualize, even when I'm just talking to myself, I still visualize. I have to visualize somebody. And I've always thought about, I need to take like a school group shot or something out of a yearbook and put it up in front of me and just pretend I'm like talking to the class, talking to the class. But anyway. So that is what we were doing. And let's see, we also used the Xyron sticker maker and we created little stickers using that from cute little things out of magazines. And then this was in a Daphne's diary. So I thought, yeah, that'll be cute on my, that'll probably fit in a happy planner square now that I'm looking at it. Well, I know what I'll be doing while I'm watching something. Oh, yeah, see, you have a dog. I used to talk to my dog too. I don't have one anymore. He passed. Yep. Jolly is so cute. Oh my goodness. Is you have a Pyrenees and a lab, right? Do you have two Pyrenees? Did I think you had a Pyrenees? Or am I dreaming? I don't know. I've been watching a lot of farming people lately because I've been doing a lot of sourdough. I wish you guys lived. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought you had a lab and a Pyrenees. Okay, I'm not dreaming. My brain is good. My brain is good. Um, but I've been doing a lot of sourdoughing. What time is it? I gotta feed the babies. 9:30. Is it 9:30 here? What time? I'm Central Time, so I got an hour and a half. Okay, I'm good. I got an hour and a half. Okay, so I got my babies are my all of my oh, okay, good. I had this weird dream about my brother, my little brother. He's 5 years younger than me, and I had a weird dream about him last night. And he just texted me. I texted him this morning. Um, so because I hadn't talked to him since before Christmas. I didn't even, well, I texted him on Christmas, but he never texted me back. He has like 9 children. So, so when he texts me, it's awesome. I'm very appreciative that he takes the time, but yeah, I was really concerned and he just texted me, said he's okay, but he's doing a lot of traveling. So he's like all in, he does, he's in computers. He's the CEO of a huge computer. He has like quantum computing and stuff. You would never know that I have a genius for a brother, but I do. I have like a literal science genius for a brother. Yes. I wonder about how smart he is. He's got a lot of smarts that way, but I'm wondering about the children's smarts. Okay, hang on 1 second. Let me see. He just sent me a photo. Can I pull it up on here? I don't know. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, he is in South Dakota right now. Wow. I almost moved to South Dakota. Look at that. Look at that. He just sent me these photos. He's in his company is in South Dakota. And the funny part is I almost moved to, he doesn't have to live there. He lives in Florida. He travels back and forth, but before he got that job, I didn't even know he was looking for another job. And before he got offered the job, I was looking at moving to South Dakota because I was gonna move away from Florida. And I'm like, okay, I want what states don't have state tax? What doesn't have? Who doesn't have like a income, like a not income tax, but income tax, state tax, and also like who doesn't have like where your estate is taxed. And so 5 states came up. Well, I was like, okay, I don't want to live here, I don't want to live there. And then I thought, well, how come I never hear about South Dakota at all? And I've never been to South Dakota. I've always wanted to go to South Dakota. The only thing I ever knew about South Dakota was the fact that, Mount Rushmore is there, which I've never seen. It's one of the 5 states I haven't seen. I have 5 states left to go. Hawaii, Idaho, Iowa, South and North Dakota. That's all I have left. And so anyway, yeah, state tax. Yep. Oh my goodness. One of your daughters has 9 children and she's a nurse. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, you haven't been to South Dakota either? Yeah, there's really no reason for no wait, I've been to Iowa. I've been to Idaho. It's South and North Dakota. Those are the two. South and North Dakota, Hawaii, South North Dakota, Hawaii, Iowa, and Idaho. Those are the 5. Yeah. I've been everywhere else in the country. Okay, you still have 3 states. What are your 3 states? I always thought I was going to have 5 kids, Sandy, because I grew up in a family of 5. But after I had my first one, I didn't even want to have any more. But then I thought my first one, by the time she hit 4, I'm like, this kid is so spoiled rotten and has such an attitude. She was like your typical strong-willed child. Like that book had just come out, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is my kid. And I thought, you know what? I need to have a second one because who needs to put her in her place? And so, anyway, so I went ahead and had a second one, and I was very thankful I had 2 because they ended up being best friends and playmates, and they were awesome. They were really awesome. They're still close best friends to this day. But yeah. Okay, Alaska. Oh, Montana. Okay. And Hawaii. Yep. Montana's beautiful. Alaska is unbelievable. I went there back in 2010 with my sister. We took a cruise, which I think if I had to do it again, I'm glad I did the cruise because we got to see British Columbia. That was one of my favorite spots because it was on the way. The cruise went out of Seattle, and I hadn't been to Seattle, so that was fun. So we planned like 3 days in Seattle, and then we went on it was a 10-day cruise. And one of the days we docked in British Columbia. And let me tell you, I want to get back to British Columbia. It was beautiful. Oh my goodness, was it beautiful. Oh no. Ah, you almost got to go. Oh, yeah. I haven't been to Hawaii. That's on my bucket list. I will make it there one day. Oh. Yeah, you bring your crafty stuff, Sandy. Just bring some stuff like do you crochet or knit? Because I bring my crochet stuff with me. Oh no, Tammy, what? Girl, you should call me. I would have talked you into going. I wish I'd known you then. I would have talked you into going. Oh, yeah. Banff is another area that's incredible. I've always wanted to do. There's a train you can take across Canada. That's one of the ones I would love to do. Love to take that train that goes across Canada. It goes through that whole area where Banff is, Calgary. Oh no, you hear about it daily. Oh shoot, I bet you do. Oh goodness. Oh, you want to do the train too? Yeah. I want to do that train. Okay, so I was talking to my sister, my other sister, Melody, because now she's retired. She can do some traveling. But I was telling her I want to do the one that goes up through Eastern Canada, like Newfoundland, St. John, like up up the coast. Like I think it does like Maine. Tim Holtz did that cruise back in the day. That did that New England. It was like a New England cruise, but then it went up into parts of Canada too. So I would love to do that. And it was a fall cruise, which I bet you is spectacular. And I haven't been up north in a really long time. Huh. Russian train trip. I didn't know. I don't know about a Russian train trip. I don't know if I would go to Russia right now. I have friends that live in St. Petersburg, and they've been begging me to come. Yeah, we went with Tim. Yep, to Italy. Uh-huh. That just seems like, oh my gosh, it was so long ago. What was that, 2015, I think? Man, 10 years ago? That was a long time. It seems like a lifetime. Okay, pet the dogs for me. Well, I've been on here for 2 hours and I'm not doing, yes, I love Scotland. I've been there twice. You will love it. Oh, but you want to go for good. Okay, well, lose your passport and you'll get to stay a little bit longer. So, uh, yeah, I don't know if I would want to live there. I think because it's kind of like it reminds me a little bit of of I can't even describe what it reminds me of. It's because all the buildings are gray. Everything's like gray. They get a lot of rain too. I don't know. You would live in a cave in the Highlands. They have caves. Can you rent them out? What? Because I know they have caves like in Greece. I was looking at the ones in Greece, and you can they turn them into Airbnbs, and I'm like, I don't know, but they'll have holes in they have holes in them where you can see out, but no like window. I, I just did a search one day for like you can find if you do a search on Airbnb for like you're looking for unusual places to stay, weird things come up like hobbit houses and tree houses. That's a lot of people want to stay in tree houses. Oh, okay, the caves. Yeah, there probably are. I found it would be. Oh, sorry, shook everybody. I just found that while I'm talking. I just found that when I was in Scotland, I don't know, maybe it was just the time of the year that I was there because I was in the summer. It was because they make all the buildings are made out of granite, so it was like everything's gray. Everything's gray, and lots of farmland. But the farmland's beautiful, and the people were so much fun. So I did enjoy it. I have Irish roots. I don't have Scottish roots. But I didn't make it to Ireland. I only made it to Scotland. I went to the UK a couple times. Been to Italy several times. Where else in Europe? Denmark, Sweden. I lived in Denmark for a while. Airdrop. Let's see. My sheep would keep me warm, but next to impossible to get my sheep into the country. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to get your sheep into the country. Oh, okay. Then have you ever thought about taking that they have those cruises? Where does the Danube go? There's that cruise that goes up down the Danube. They have several cruises, like European cruises, where you can go to like the Scotland, Ireland, UK, Germany, like that route. Well, I'm French, Irish, Slovenian, and also Pequot Indian. But I'm kind of like somebody else where it's kind of like far back in my family. So my great-great-grandfather was married to a Pequot Indian. So I don't have any. No cruises for sheep, but I wonder if you could take a sheep as a like a, what do they call it, a comfort animal. Some lady brought up. You could probably bring a baby sheep. You could do a farm stay over there and you'd have sheep all around you. You could fly me up. I'll take care of your sheep while you're gone. Well, once you got your windows fixed. I don't know if I want to be there in the winter time when the window's not fixed. I would love to come and stay on your farm stay and take care of your sheep and your little alpaca. That would be the real reason why. Because I would love to take care of your little alpaca. Oh. You're so funny. Careful what you wish for. Well, I don't know if I would want to like live there forever, but it's a lot of work. I'm sure it's a lot of work because, oh my gosh, I can't imagine. Do you have like a full working farm? Like, because I know you guys do the shearing of the sheep and you sell your wool. Your sheep have horrible manners? They don't look like they do. They look awfully well-mannered and cute. Well, I've had horses all my life, so, and we had a Shetland pony. And if you ever want to have something with that will have a little attitude, get a little Shetland pony. We had a couple of Shetland ponies. Tinker and Belle. Those were their names. Of course, they look innocent. They do look innocent. Yeah, I would. I'd come take care of your sheep. Except for what time do you have to be up in the morning to take care of the sheep? Is it before the sun gets up? Because this girl doesn't do before the sun gets up, unless it's like I'm traveling. I rise with the sun. Aw, you do? You have two little pasture ponies? Aw. You get up before the sun or no before the sun? You go, oh no, no before the sun. Okay, you don't get up. So your animals sleep in? You trained your animals to sleep in? "20 acres of grass pasture, and we feed hay in the winter." Okay, as long as they have shelter and water, they are pretty self-sufficient. Huh, that's interesting. Now, with sheep, is it like a horse that you have to like clip their toenails and their toenails, clip their hooves and like float their teeth? Do they have to get like their teeth done by a vet? I know nothing about sheep care. Oh, they have to have their hooves clipped like a horse? Interesting. Now, do you bring someone in to do the horse, the hoof? No teeth. Okay, so you don't have to float teeth like a horse. Just the feet. I didn't know that. Interesting. See, learn something every day. And then how often do you have to shear them? Welcome back, Jamie. Okay, let's see. The sheep shearer guys trim the feet when they shear them. Okay, and then how often do the sheep get sheared? And then do you take the raw wool and is that your job? Do you spin it? Okay, sheep shearing. Oh, only once a year. I did not know that. I thought you could shear them more than once. Okay, so their fur takes a long time to grow back, huh? So everything's done once a year. So, okay, so you could get all that done once a year, and then you could go on your trip, and you could be gone till the next one. Till the next one. Till the next sheep shearing. Okay, so you wash it, you card it, and you spin it. Carding, that's the thing with the brush, right? Where you go back and forth like that with the brush. It's like a comb. And you spin it. Yes, I've seen your website. Could you put your website up there? It's like Sanctuary. I don't want to say it because I know I'll have it wrong. Yes, we shear this year early on March 15th. That March 15th, you might want to choose the 16th because the 15th is the Ides of March. My helper had the nerve to move to Massachusetts. Oh no, last fall. So it would just be me, Jim, and the two sheep shearer guys. Oh no. Do you want me to come and help you? I know nothing. I may not be that good of a help. And if there's any blood involved, I'm squeamish. But, you know, I love animals. And I'm a hard worker. Like, I don't rest. Like, I'm a really hard worker. You're funny, James. I got to when I went to New Zealand, one time I went to that alpaca farm I told you, and they had just sheared them, and they look so weird because they leave the fur around their heads, but they shear the bodies, and so they look really weird. They're long, skinny necks, but they're super sweet. It's going to be a long day, but at least now we don't have 100 sheep. Oh my gosh, you had 100? Miss every one of them. A 22 is as much more manageable. You had 100 sheep. Oh my word. Wow. Yeah, it's harder to do stuff, Jamie, once you get a little bit older. That's the truth. I'm finding that out for sure. I was like getting up the other morning. I'm talking to myself. I was like, what? Why don't I just like spring up out of bed like I used to? I mean, I don't ever remember getting up out of bed going, oh man, oh my ankle, oh my, like I have to like warm up, like warming up a car or something when I get out of the bed. I'm like, what? When did this happen? Yes, they do look like aliens. Yep, they do. Oh. Use caution when you get up. I know, I'm so much slower getting up. So I ordered some stuff that I just started taking. It's called Kimchi One. I'm hoping it's supposed to be like, and part of it is too, I cannot, it's if I go out to eat, it's really hard to avoid corn. And that's part of the problem because whenever I have corn, I just get like inflamed and have all kinds of problems. So, and that's different. So I'm hoping the Kimchi One will help with the mornings. I know kimchi is really good for you because of the probiotics, but they have it in pill form, so we'll see. Okay. Oh, it's okay. I'm glad you stopped in. I got to learn all about sheep and sheep shearing. It was fascinating, and I will see you later. Bye, Sandy. Here's a funny Jamie Bugwell. Her name is Sandy. She has a great YouTube channel. She's very her journals are incredible, and her hauls when she goes antiquing and stuff. Oh my goodness, her stuff up there is like amazing. Oh, you know what? I didn't put this on paper. Ah, now it's on my craft sheet. I'm talking. So I think you can click on their. I think you can click on their icon, right? To get to their channel, if I'm not mistaken. What did I do that for? I did it on my craft sheet. I need like, oh, I got a little brush. Now that I'm thinking about it, I do have a little brush. You know what I need? I need the little crumb vacuum. I do have this thing. I don't know. It's some kind of antique thing I got from, it's called a mini duster made in the USA. Got it at this, I think I got it at the state sale. The Jackson Paper Company, Jackson, Mississippi. I just thought it was cool. And it works. It's getting all of it in here. Along with some other little crumblets. They're so funny. Well, Amina. Her name's Sandy though. Wait, on your computer, on your screen, it only says wool. Oh, I don't think I can make you a mod in Ustream when you use Ustream, can you? I think I'd have to go in and make you a mod in, I don't know, can I? What happens if I click on you? Is there anything to hit here? There's 3 of something. Put user in timeout. No. Delete your comment. No. Oh, okay. It says Wilhelmina. I thought maybe on your screen it only said wool. That's funny. Yeah, she has an animal sanctuary. Her and her husband. But she gets really cool stuff. She does a lot of stuff with like the real. She does things with the real deal. She has like antique things that she uses really neat, and her style is really cool. I almost did it again. Oh. Oh, okay. Wilhelmina. Did they nickname her Willa? Or they called her full on Wilhelmina? What? They called her Tootsie. Where'd they get Tootsie from? Oh, I got quiet. I'm sorry. I was thinking. I was thinking what came next. I forgot what came after the alcohol. Sorry. Is it time for me to go feed my is it 9 o'clock yet? When it's 9 o'clock, I need to go because I got to go feed my sourdough starter. I just started working again because we were talking the whole time. Lost in my thoughts. Well, I was thinking about how they come up with names like back in the day, you know, with an older name like that. Like if their name was John, they would call him Jack. That's what they call my. Oh no. Okay, I don't know what that is. And I lost you. Where'd you go? Slid off my. There, you're back. Yeah, I'm on Central Time. I am. Okay, I don't know who that was, but somebody was calling me. Um, sorry, I'm gonna just do this text real quick. Okay. Not like you're not there. All right. Central Time. I grew up down in like Clearwater, Tarpon Springs, that area, and then I moved over to a town kind of outside of Lakeland area, and then I lived in Orlando the last 10 years that I lived there. Yeah. Never on the East Coast, always on the left or the middle. Do you live in Florida, Tammy? Oh, you live up near Destin. Okay. When we did my sister's funeral, we we stayed in Destin. Well, we stayed up in Navarre, actually, not Destin. We stayed in Navarre. Uh, she was buried through. It's called Eternal Reef. Reef, Reef, Eternal Reef. Okay, now you're in Missouri, on the Gulf of America side. Exactly. I lived on the Gulf of America side. America. Um. So, hey Sierra, how are you? Sandy left. She's not in here anymore. She just left. I think you just missed her. Sierra's another one that's got a cool channel. So follow her. APG Jamie's got a cool channel. Tammy, do you have a channel? I love like. What am I using to make the brown? Okay, so hold on 1 second and I will show you what I'm doing. So at this point, I'm holding the heat tool pretty close and getting the paint to bubble up. The Tim Holtz Distress paint, when heated, will bubble up and it creates this like rusting effect. It's really cool. It's like a bubbly, rusty effect. And then I'll set that aside. And then we'll do the last thing. So I'm going to set that till it cools. When it's cool, that one's not cool yet. It needs to dry a little bit. Okay. So what I did was you take this, it's a chipboard letter that I have, and then I sanded it, and you use archival ink when you're doing some of this stuff. And then, oh, you have one too? Oh, okay, I'm going to look for you when I'm done. And then you're going to take the Distress Dauber and you're going to daub it. And the reason why you daub is because the dauber gives like really cool, like little bumpy edges. I don't know. It like gives a little bit of texture. So, and then you take embossing powder. It is antique linen distress embossing glaze, it's called. So the glaze is see-through. It's transparent with a little bit of color. So we're going to do about 2 or 3 layers of this. I'm using chipboard. You can do it on cardstock. So I only am doing like 2 or 3 layers, depending. So Tammy, what do you do on your channel? What do you are you a junk journaler or? And then I'll come back in while it's hot. And I will do another. You got to do it while it's freshly melted. If not, then you got to hit it with another thing of your dauber, and it won't grab everywhere, and that's fine. You don't want it to. You want it kind of textured and layered. I know you said you have a lot of crafting stuff, so what do you enjoy? What do you do on your channel? Oh my goodness, Sierra, you seem to have you seem to do a lot of stuff. Do you do sourdough? Do you make your own sourdough bread? I have so many questions. So many questions. It just seems like it's a lot harder now than it was back in the day. I can't find everybody who says, "Oh, this is the simple way." I'm like, yeah, no, I don't remember it being this this complicated. I do the okay. So I use the ancient grain, the icorn. That's the icorn. That's the one that I use. Okay, so once you have like 2 or 3 layers on there, and you can see I don't have it on the whole thing. Like there's a little spot, and that's okay. You want it to kind of be like some have 1 layer, some have no layer, some have like 2 or 3 layers. You want it. It gives it more of that. Has more texture that way. All right, so while that's cooling, after I spatter the paint, hit it with a heat tool, I'm going to go back in with the archival ink, and I'm using, I think this is potting soil. It's a Wendy Vecchi color. And then I go in and I just lightly, you don't want to tear your pad up, but you just want to lightly go over it. And then you have to use archival because this is a slick surface. And then it will kind of dull the sheen down a little bit, but it inks around the little blobs of paint. So it kind of, yeah, ages it a little more. I don't know if you can tell, if you can see the difference from with the ink and then because of the glare, it's hard to tell. Let me see if I lift it up. So this is with the archival and that is without the archival. So either way, do you have a day and time? Try to keep it the same. It helps. Okay. So currently, I do not have a day and time. Okay. You haven't done any craft videos lately. So you've been doing dog videos? Dogs are funny. I love dog videos. Have you seen the one that has the one that is it's a weenie dog and it's listening to Siri. No, it's listening to a little like Bluetooth thing on the bed, and it's saying they're playing that song "Turn Around" every now and then. That song, and every time it hears the turn around, it like turns around on the bed and then comes back and looks at the Bluetooth. Oh my gosh, I love that video. It's hysterical. The dog is so cute and so proud of itself because it's waiting for it to say turn around again. I love it. Yeah, I know it helps to come on the same time. Right now, my life right now is so crazy. I've been able to keep a good time, or a good day or a good time. I just kind of come on when I have the chance. Better to me, it's better than not coming on at all. That's my feeling. Um, but hopefully I will get back on some kind of rhythm again of usually on here after 5 for sure. Okay, so then once it's cooled, what you're going to do is you're going to take a dauber and we're going to add some ginger alcohol ink. There's also a color called rust, but I don't have it. So ginger is the closest to rust that I have. So put a little bit on the dauber. And if you ever get this on your skin or on anything, use 90% alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and it'll take it off your skin. Okay, because alcohol cancels out alcohol. Yeah, I like it too. Oh. Well, you have to do what you can, right? Okay, so I have so many questions about sourdough because um I started my starter. It's a long story. I started my starter and then my batteries died and then we had snow so I couldn't get new batteries for my scale and then I didn't know what to do because I had already started it with using the scale. So, and then I underestimated how much flour you actually need when you're feeding it and discarding it and blah, blah, blah. And then I didn't have any eggs, so I couldn't use the discard. And so I'm going in here and you just lightly hit it. You don't want to use too much of it because it's literally sitting on top when it dries and it will be sticky. It becomes sticky. Alcohol ink will if you use a lot. So you just use a very light hand just to kind of rust it a little bit. All right, now while that's drying, what do I have to do here? Anything else? I think these are done. So these are all finished. So this is what we did. Did those, did that one, and then we used this stuff called grungeboard that I had and did some hinges and some keys. So you can use that technique on all kinds of stuff. Are there cracker recipes out there? I know, but I think you need cheese, right? I saw the cheese it's one, but I didn't have any cheese. I don't know. Crackers don't have eggs, do they? I don't know. But it seemed like something called for eggs or milk, and I didn't have anything in because literally I was not prepared for the snowstorm as far as eggs and milk went. Oh goodness. So what I ended up doing with the sourdough is I've got 9 of them sitting in my 9 jars in the oven. And then I saw where someone said, which are not starters, they're not from my starter, they're like the discards. And then but I've been feeding them because I finally got milk today. But so I can make some stuff tomorrow. But then I have my mother one. I had to put in there. I saw where you can put it in the refrigerator and it'll hold your starter. I don't understand the difference between the starter. It's like the first one, but then if you put the starter in another jar and you feed that and you keep that one separate and you don't use it, isn't that starter too? So the whole thing's confusing to me. Oh, they're supposed to be like wheat thins. Okay. Maybe that's what I should make because I bet you there's no rise time. Because I was going to make pizza dough and I did find this person that made pizza dough that looked really good. It wasn't made in a cast iron pan because a lot of them, I don't have a cast iron pan and they were making them in like a big giant cast iron pan. So I needed to make a pizza on a stone in an oven because I have a stone. Melted butter, seasoning, and the discard. Okay. Can you put the name of the channel in? I know you can't put a link in here. I don't know because I'm on StreamYard. I'm not on like YouTube or using that. You don't throw out the starter or whatever. You don't throw that out. You use it as you can either use it straight as is as stuff. You don't have to add like flour and then let it raise again to make it active. They call that active starter. So you can use the discard without feeding it and waiting. You can just use the straight up discard, which means it just isn't like, I don't know. And then I don't have a mod. How do I make a mod? Oh my gosh. Jamie. Okay, let me see. Oh, it's this thing. Okay, let me see. Let me go to YouTube. Maybe I can do it from like my channel. Hold on, let's see. You have to do it on YouTube. Okay, I'm going to YouTube. Here's me. Then what do? Go to like my lives, my videos, my lives. I'm not even on my home. Okay. Live videos. How do I find my live on here? I'm not on here. Do I need to just like get rid of it? Help me, Rhonda. Okay. Oh my goodness. When my YouTube opens up, it is. Okay, let's see. Okay, your videos and live. And I'm not live. It's saying I'm not live. Okay. Well, there's different. Okay. Oh my goodness. I had a live starter and I thought it wasn't live until I've watched about 40 different things, but icorn flour makes a different looking starter than people that make it with like an organic all-purpose flour. So I have to use the icorn, which is an ancient grain, which you may be able to use if you can't have. It is wheat though, but is it it's wheat, but it doesn't have the gluten in it or something? Okay. Um, what's what's not live? And the trolls are out there too. What? I don't understand what's happening. Yes. Okay, I'm trying to find my. I don't understand what's happening. But it isn't live. Like you can't click it. I don't even see. Oops, that's an old one. I don't even see me. What if I log out? No, that's not gonna work. Okay, wait a minute. The only thing that shows up is something that's from like 2 weeks ago. So see, it puts me at when I go under the live thing. Videos. Wow, I haven't done a video in a month. I think I've been doing more. I have so many. Now these are short. Yeah, see, my last one was 2 weeks ago. My live. I have so many videos ready to upload. And I have to. Okay. Oh, it's okay. Okay, let me see. Like you can't click it. No, you're not clicking it. No worries. Is the link showing up for anyone? No, I don't see any link. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Nobody text. Nobody write anything because I want to write it down. Hold 1 second. Okay, it is called Zesty South Indian Kitchen. Cool. And this is for crackers. I guess I'm making crackers all day tomorrow because I have nine things of discard in my oven that need to be fed tonight, and they're fine. But my icorn starter and 2 discards are in the refrigerator right now because I ran out of icorn flour and I had to order more in. So that's where I'm sitting right now. So once I take them out of there, but I think they can stay in the refrigerator for like a weekend or something, a few days, and they're not dead. They just go dormant, and then you can just feed and start them all back up again. So, put user's name in the box. Well, I know I'm live because it says I've been live for like 3 hours and 24 minutes. I can't believe I've been on here for 3 hours and 24 minutes. All right. So anyway, let me finish this one because I was showing Sierra how to do it. Once you do the alcohol ink, that's when you come in with the paint. And you just use, I used a little bit of speckled egg and a little bit of ice spruce. And then you take a little bit of water. And then I got to put it on there. And then all you do is I'm going to make some spatters on here. And you kind of want like a lot. Oh, I just spattered it all over my face. You kind of want bigger blobs because those are the ones that will bubble. The bigger blob bubbles nicer. The little ones will too, but I find it's the big ones that give you the nice crusty bits. And then I'm going to heat it. So I'm going to grab it where there's no paint. Seven years on. It's time to feed my babies. Okay. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it has become okay. So then the other thing is I only have the small mason jars. I think they're like a pint size. So that's a whole nother issue. That's why I have so many jars, because I didn't have anything big to put it in. And then I only had one of the quart mason jars, and that actually has my very first one. And I started it on February 10th. That was my first day. So I've been doing this now for 14 days, right? No, 10 days. And anyway. Woo. Okie dokie. Now let that dry. I need to go wash these brushes. Yeah, I have to feed them at 9 o'clock. Oh my goodness. So tomorrow's going to be cracker time. You make bread every day? No, you don't have to make bread every day. So you can if you want to, but what you do is you don't throw out so you have to, because it's a 1-1, okay. So say you have 100 grams of your starter. You're going to add like what I do is I started out with a 1/4 cup of water and a 1/4 cup of flour. That's how I ended up starting out. And then it'll rise above, you mark it where it starts, and then when it rises, it doubles or whatever, goes up. Then you take it back down to the original spot, which was down where my rubber band was. So I scoop that out and I put it in another jar. And that's what they call your discard. So when you're first starting out, yeah, you can't use it because it's not fermented yet. But you can keep it in a separate jar and you can feed that the same way you're going to feed your original one. And that's what I did. But what I found, this one lady, what she did was she fed on the first day you do that. You feed the second day, the third day, fourth day, and on the fifth day is when you cut it down to where it is on the rubber band. So then you take that part off and you stick it in another jar. So you're not doing any discard for like 5 days because it doesn't really bubble up or rise until it's fermented. So does that make sense? And then on the 6th day, you do the half cup. And then on the 7th day is when you take it back down to the rubber band. So all this stuff you're taking out. Once you're at around the 5th or 7th day, depending on your temperature of your house and what kind of flour you're using, then that ends up being what's called the active starter. And then once you have the active starter, that's the stuff you make the bread from. Whatever you take out of the active starter and put in, like whatever you take out of that, and if you stick it in a separate jar and you don't add any more flour or water to it, that's going to be what's called the discard. That's the stuff, if you don't add water, flour back to it to make it rise, then that's what they call your discard, and you can use that as like for crackers, focaccia, stuff like that. Oh, Thanks, Jamie. I'm going to hop off right now anyway. So, well, I'm going to look up Tammy time. And anyway, I'll keep you updated on my starters, my many. I need to start passing them out to people because I got stuck and I didn't want to throw it out in the trash, and I just kept going because I had 12 jars. So 9 of them all have good, and I use great flour, and it's expensive flour. So anyway, I'm going to try the crackers, Sierra, tomorrow. Definitely try that because I don't have time to make anything rise and cook anything tomorrow because I'll have to be in church. But anyway, all right. So I will see you guys. In the meantime, I'm going to figure out how to make somebody a mod. All right. And next time you come and see me, who knows? You may be a mod. You won't even know it. But if you have a blue wrench, you'll know it. And you'll be able to smite people. Just saying. Okay. I will definitely look you up for sure. It was nice hanging out with you guys too. And if you have any of this stuff in your craft stash, highly recommend having some fun with it. It makes really cool, rusty fun. So, okay. Bye, you guys.